Yeah, when I think about, what you're saying there, right? The mentorship, the stories, for me, I didn't care if my kids went in my businesses. And today, two of the first three in the working world are in my businesses, right? One, my son's the CEO now of all our companies, YPO now as well. And my daughter, Janelle, is running our national business. And they're 33 and 31. I have a 30-year-old that's an attorney for Ernst & Young and a 19-year-old son that just graduated high school. But you know what? I love telling the stories, and I love the customers that I was able to serve over the years, and I love the teammates on my team, right? So I'd come home after working, and I'd make dinner a few nights a week usually, and I would tell all the stories what went on at work, right? And they're always so fun to tell. I didn't realize I was at, my daughters, my son, I was inspiring them to want to be in this dirty business I'm in, right? Because that, they didn't think they wanted to be paving, at the time, paving driveways or parking lots. But eventually, as they, went through college and had other jobs and all that, they came back to our business saying, man, I loved it. They, really wanted to be in it because they loved the stories. They loved our teammates. They loved what we were doing, and they loved the growth. And by the time they got out of college, there was a lot of opportunities. But I guess what I'm saying is, I hear very often, I hear friends of mine saying, in our businesses like yours and mine that might be smaller, they're saying, I sure don't want my kids doing this for the rest of their lives. I'm telling them, go to college and go find a good job and go be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, right? And yet I'm glad I didn't say that or position it that way to my kids, because I wasn't a big fan I didn't go to college. My wife didn't. And I wasn't a huge I wasn't a fan because I didn't really understand what I would have gained in college, I guess, at the time. But bottom line is, I believe if you tell passionate stories about what you're having fun with in business or life, your kids will probably follow some of those stories, the ones they choose that they want to, right? With no pressure that they have to go into the business or they have to be part of it, right? You have kids, you have your own, and
I do. I have kids, but my dad told me not to go into the business because it's a tough business. And, and I think back, I mentioned earlier that they came to this country pretty much penniless, and worked their way up. So they didn't really have all of these opportunities to pick what they wanted to do. Right. And so someone offered him a job. He goes, I'm there. Right. And so it wasn't, when you ask for, what are you looking for? What were you looking for in an offer, and so it wasn't. And so so he was good. He said, this is a tough business. You should go into medicine. And, I don't like blood and I partied too much anyways, but it ended up all right. And so when I, raising my three kids, and so mine are 29, 27, 25 respectively. And I could tell you a little bit more about them. I tried to learn from that, and I said, look, you have some great opportunities. You're fortunate because you're getting a great education. You have the wherewithal to choose whatever you want to do. Please go out and do whatever you're passionate about. And, I'm here to serve as a mentor, share my experience with you, but in no way I'm expecting you to get into the business. My youngest one, Jared, the 25-year-old, was at ESD, that's the name of our company, was there for a while. But what he's decided to do, he wants to join the Air Force. And so he's going to be enlisting in a couple months. And, that's great. That's his life path.
Awesome.
The middle one, Al, is in Brooklyn, social worker, doing God's work, and just tough job, as a giver. And my oldest, Alexa, moved up to Deerfield, where she grew up, got married, and is a graphic designer. So they married a great guy, and so they're all going in their own different ways, and I'm proud of them because they're pursuing their own paths.
And that's what you want. You want to pursue, but if their path that they want to pursue is in your business because they're passionate about it. Right?
No, that'd be great. Yeah. And, David very well. I have another brother, Mark, and the oldest is Rita, our sister, and her son works for me at the company. And so, we'll see what happens.